Republicans are big mad that President Joe Biden had enacted Trump's plan to end the war in Afghanistan. And now we're done. The evacuation is complete. The troops are out. The war is over. Yet there are Republicans right now that are molding over it. So now, before we get to the rest of the show, I want to give you a little explanation of what that means. Some of our older viewers, longtime viewers might not know what that means. Molding is basically when somebody is so mad over something so inconsequential that their hair falls out. Now, of course, being a bold American myself, I think I'm the perfect spokesman for, explaining what molding is. And before you say, well, didn't you? No, this is genetic. That said, Republicans molding. So what's got them so worked up about this? I mean, look, they previously supported Donald Trump ending the forever wars. You would think that people would be happy about that. That it would be like, oh, hey, Donald Trump, Joe Biden actually took cues from Donald Trump and did the right thing and ended the war in Afghanistan. Of course not. So there's a bunch of different reasons here. One is politics. Of course, anything that Joe Biden does, Republicans immediately have to be against it, even if they previously supported it. That's normal, ridiculous. That's our political system, kind of in a nutshell. It sucks, but it's true. Now, secondly, is the fact, of course, they hate Muslims. The right wing hates scary Muslims. The Taliban happen to be Muslims. That said, I'm not a fan of the Taliban. I don't think any of us are. They're religious fundamentalists. I'm not a fan of that. They don't believe in gay rights. They don't believe in abortion. They don't believe in science. Hey, wait a minute. That sounds familiar. Doesn't that sound like a lot like the current Republican Party? Huh. Well, interesting. You would think that they would actually have a lot in common. Weird. All right. But the biggest reason, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's because the majority of the American people are supporting this decision. Now, of course, you could look at some of the polls and be like, what are you talking about? The American people are not happy about this. No, they're actually happy about the pullout. A new study from Pew Research conducted prior to the last soldier leaving Afghanistan found that 54% of U.S. adults said the decision to withdraw troops from the country was right, was correct. They agree with Biden. Even if they don't agree on how messy the pullout was, they still were like, yeah, overwhelmingly, no, we don't want to be in Afghanistan anymore. Now, 42% think, oh, it's the wrong move. To them, I ask, did you want to stay there another 20 years? And waste blood, treasure on another 20 years and then pull out then, in 2041 and then have the exact same thing happen? You're still going to get the same results. Unsurprisingly, of course, this is mainly partisan, okay? So here's how the poll breaks down. Majority of Democrats, 70%, said they support the decision to withdraw, while most Republicans, 64%, said it was the wrong decision. Now, again, when Trump said we should pull out of Afghanistan, again, the majority of Americans also agreed with that. But what happened? Well, you had a couple of things. Of course, you had Republicans immediately turning on Joe Biden and saying, no, we love endless war. What are you talking about? Now that Biden did it, we love endless war. And then, of course, for the others, you have this nonstop media, corporate media blitz attacking Biden for ending the war in Afghanistan. And they're constantly conjuring up images of, terrorists coming over, terrorizing America, 9/11, nuclear mushroom clouds. Oh, the Taliban, they're going to come for us. And so they've been trying to make the case to go back in. The media has. And corporate media, of course, has never, well, they love war. They never met a war they didn't love. Okay? And that's the situation. Corporate media, nonstop attacking Joe Biden over this. So that said, right, I give you this all in context, all to prepare you for what they're trying to do to change your public opinion, okay? And that's, of course, by sharing fake news. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. So now, Ted Cruz and Dan Crenshaw recently tweeted out a fake story that claimed that the Taliban was now executing people with American equipment, Black Hawk helicopters specifically, and they showed a video that purported to show that there was a person hanging from a Black Hawk helicopter. I'm actually going to show you that video. Take a look. Oh no, American equipment. Oh, that was ours, and we gave it to the Afghan military. Now they're flying around hanging people. Oh my God. Now that is a real video, and there was a person that got this video from a now suspended account related to the Taliban. But the person who found this captioned it, "Taliban hanging someone from helicopter in Kandahar." Okay. Now, again, the original caption for the video from that suspended account actually made no mention of an execution, but simply said, "Our Air Force, at this time, the Islamic Emirates Air Force helicopters are flying over Kandahar city and patrolling the city." So that's a far cry from their hanging people from helicopters. But Republicans, Republicans, you gotta understand, they love fake news. They love it. And so they decided to fill in the blanks with, "Oh my God, scary Muslims doing scary Muslim things." So first, over on the left, you've got Liz Wheeler. "This is what it looks like, the Taliban hanging someone from an American Black Hawk. I could vomit. Joe Biden is responsible. Ugh." And then, of course, Ted Cruz, this horrifying image encapsulates Joe Biden's Afghanistan catastrophe. The Taliban hanging a man from an American Black Hawk helicopter. Tragic, unimaginable. Dan Crenshaw says, "In what effing world was it a good idea to just hand over a country to these people?" He'll show that video of a purported helicopter hanging, but saying the F word, that's too much. That's too much. So now the New York Post also weighed in, of course, and they used this headline: "Shocking video shows man hanging below Black Hawk flown by Taliban," and only noted in the bottom of the story, the body of the story, that it is not immediately clear how he is attached or if he is alive. So now they must have not, well, okay, really paid too much of attention to that video, but don't worry, I've got another video which shows what's actually going on here. But you can see the man is not being hung by his neck. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I got another video. Here it is. All right, so now, oh man, that person waving to the people on the ground looks real bad. Oh, those dastardly Taliban hanging people who are obviously alive and in a harness, waving at others from a Black Hawk. So what was going on here? What's the reality here? Okay, well, here's a freelance journalist, Bilal Sarwari. He explains this on Twitter. Afghan pilot flying. This is someone I've known over the years. He was trained by the U.S. and the UAE. He confirmed to me that he flew the Black Hawk helicopter. Taliban fighter seen here, the guy who was hanging, was actually trying to install a Taliban flag from the air, but didn't work out in the end. So something actually is pretty innocuous. Hanging a flag. Look, using a helicopter to hang a flag, That's kind of a dumb idea, actually. Then again, I don't know. I don't know much about flag hanging, but certainly it wasn't people hanging, and I'd rather have flag hanging than people hanging. At the end of the day, though, the whole point is, oops, fake news. Here we go. Look, now Cruz did eventually delete his tweet and replace it with a somewhat corrected one. But Crenshaw, as of right now, as far as I know, has actually not deleted that tweet. So that's very interesting. Now, one more point here. A lot of Republicans immediately share fake news. We know that. Okay, that's fairly obvious. But unfortunately, they're not the only ones. And while it is a fact that Republicans are much more likely to believe in and share fake news, there are once in a while, there are sources, so-called reputable sources, that tend to get it wrong. In fact, who can forget this bungle by CNN? Yeah. The 2015 ISIS butt plug flag. ISIS flag spotted at Gay Pride, which would be the last place that ISIS would go because they're fundamental. CNN, what are you doing? CNN, obviously, very, very obvious sex toys on that flag. Not an ISIS flag. Come on.
Give me a break.
All right. So, look, point is, everybody needs to calm down. All right. Everybody needs to make sure to not jump to conclusions when they see things, right? About what, about pretty much anything that they see online. And that's really the best and biggest lesson you can take from all of this. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.